I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida, and welcome to my weekly YouTube Live. If you're new here, I go live every Monday at noon Eastern Time here on YouTube. I'd love for you to join us, invite your crafty friends to join us as well. We've got a really fun project in store for you today using some retiring products, some that are going to be at a deep discount tomorrow on April 9th. So I hope you guys are really excited about that sale. It's going to be a really big one. So let me pull up my YouTube channel here so I can see your comments as you join. Please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I love hearing from you guys. Let's see here. Pull this up real quick and make sure my volume turned down so I can't hear myself. All right, so I hope everybody had a great weekend. What did you do over the weekend? Anything fun? And like I said, as you join, please say hello, say hi to everybody, say hi to the group. We had a pretty busy weekend here. Ethan's in bowling. He's only got about 4 more weeks left to bowling, and then he'll be done for the summer. They take a little break before they start up again at the tail end of summer. What else did we do? Oh, we had our monthly game night with my in-laws. We cooked outside. It's been gorgeous weather here. So we grilled, and my mother-in-law made like a little cake and brought it over, and we played Phase 10, but we played like half of it. I love Phase 10, but it is a very long game. So we played like the even phases and it was a lot quicker, but I love card games. My husband was saying he remembers when we were first dating, that's like all my family does is play cards. So there was lots of card games. I go to my grandparents' house, we play cards there. I go to my parents' house, we play cards there. So it was lots of fun. My husband actually was telling me I was out running errands one day, and apparently a little snake got into our air conditioning unit outside. He was sitting, and our room is right next to the air conditioning unit. He said he was sitting in there, and all of a sudden he heard like a bunch of thudding. And apparently a little snake had gotten into the air conditioning unit, and the blades were chopping him up. So that was really gross. My husband and my son had to go out and like pull the snake pieces out and throw it in the trash. That was really crazy. So it's the first time that's happened since we've been down here. We've been down here almost 5 years, and that's never happened. So I guess it's bound to happen with all the wildlife outside though. So okay, so like I said, I have a really fun project today. Don't forget, Last Chance Products starts tonight at midnight Mountain Time. So whatever time zone you're in, kind of cross-check your time zone, but it's midnight Mountain Time is when it starts. The products have a tendency to sell out quickly, especially if they're deeply discounted. I wouldn't say it's not like a clearance rack where they'll sell out in like a couple hours, but with that, anything that's popular, has a high discount, those items are going to go first. So order early to make sure you get whatever you've been waiting for that's about to go on sale. Don't forget to get your in color products, all of the retiring in colors. That's the Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis. Those are the retiring in colors. Some of that stuff is already gone. So if there's any ink or paper, re-inkers, markers, I know a lot of the blends are going on sale. Double check that stuff and add it to your list to make sure you have everything ready to go. What else? Make sure to double check the prices that are going to be increasing. Maybe add some of those items to your list as well. I think glue dots are one of the biggest things that are going up in price, or one of the biggest price increases. It's like, I want to say $2 or something in price is what it's going up. But a lot of I think the card stocks are going up by $1. The Memento ink pad is going up by like $1.50. A lot of little things like that are going up little by little in price. So if there's something you want to like stock up on now before the price goes up, now would be a good time, or tomorrow, tonight, whatever, would be a good time to do it. What else? If you need help placing an order, You can call me. I'll be available anytime after 6 a.m. Eastern time. If you're one of my newsletter subscribers, I just sent out an email about half an hour ago with a bunch of like tips and lists and stuff to double check before the Last Chance products. So make sure to check that out. And then in the morning when the sale goes live, I'll have another email going out so that you know it's started, okay? All right, well, I think that's all I have for that. So we're gonna just jump into today's project. I'm gonna show you what's gonna be on sale and we'll get going. This was a really big hit at my in-person card classes a couple weeks ago. They loved this card. So I'm gonna use my grid paper today. This was something we got it on stage. We could pick a paper pumpkin stamp set or grid paper, and I got the grid paper because I thought it was super cute. It's got all the little puppies on it. It's adorable. All right, so that is what I'm going to use here. I'm trying to move this down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so, and what did I don't even think I have an example. Yes, I do. What did I do with my example card? Hold on 1 second. Oh, they mailed it. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Hold on. I can't believe I don't have that ready to go. Okay, well, I don't know. I was trying to get everything ready and then I'm like, oh, where's my sample card? Okay, well, it's just going to be a surprise. You'll like it when you see it at the end. I don't know what I did with that thing. All right, well, anyway, I'm not going to keep you waiting while I hunt through my messy craft room. Oh, that was another thing I was going to say is if you are a customer of mine, I will be shipping out catalogs this week. So make sure to check your email because when your catalog ships, you'll get an email notification with the tracking number on it, okay? So you should have your catalogs by either the end of this week or early next week if you're one of my customers waiting for that. If you're coming to my Stamp Camp classes, you'll get it at Stamp Camp, okay? All right, so I wish I could have found the example before I got on here, but I totally got sidetracked and forgot to look for it. So it's what we're making is a corner pocket card. You'll really love it at the end once you see what it looks like. I can't find my sample right now and I'm not going to go hunting and digging for it, but we're using this Delightfully Eclectic Designer Series paper. Now this is going to be 50% off. This is like a mega pack of paper, this Delightfully Eclectic. It's normally $30. It's going to be $15 and it has all kinds of different designs in here. It's got 48 sheets of 12 by 12, which normally 12 by 12 packs come with 12 sheets and this has 48, so it's like a quadruple pack of paper, so it's a really good deal. So if you want to stock up on this, I would suggest getting this now tonight when the sale starts, because it's not going to last long. There's lots of cool patterns in here, lots of everyday patterns you could use for so many things. It's just like summertime stuff, florals, black and white. I love this. This is one of my favorites. Okay, so make sure to add this to your list if you haven't already. This is the pattern that we're using today. And this is cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of Night of Navy that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, okay? And we're just going to adhere this right on here. And I like to use Stampin' Seal Plus because it's got a pretty sturdy grip, and I live in a humid climate, so I'm always looking for a really strong adhesive. All right, so there's that, and then my little piece here. Okay. I'm just a mess right now. So I have this piece. This was cut down. This is a 3¼ inch square that I cut in half, okay? And what we're gonna do is this is gonna end up going on the bottom corner, lining up with the edges, but first we're going to emboss it with this beautiful cane weave embossing folder, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this long edge here, I'm gonna line it up so that it lines up with that line on the top here, and I'm going to emboss that with my emboss machine. So I'm gonna grab that here. I do have this ready to go at least. Miracles never cease, right? So we're gonna emboss this. And this embossing folder is carrying over. So you will be able to get it if you haven't already. You'll be able to get it in the new catalog. Look how pretty that is. This is one of my favorites. And while we still have this, so I have a piece of Calypso Coral. This is the little pocket piece that's gonna go on the inside. So for this, we need to emboss one edge here. So what we're gonna do is, you can do it a couple different ways. So I had some people that just wanted to fold it around the folder. That's fine, you can do it that way and make it go straight through. Or how I was doing it, and this was like blasphemy, people were freaking out. But I was just, cause it's the same width as the folder, right? So you just need to line it up along that, where that line is, to make sure it's straight. And then I was doing it, so I was putting it in the embossing machine this way, and people are like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, yes, I know technically you're not supposed to, but you can. It's not going to hurt anything if you do it every once in a while. But people were like, no, 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 don't do that. So do it however you're comfortable with. I don't have a problem doing it sideways, so that's how I'm going to do it, so that I make sure that the paper, because otherwise, if I tried to do it like this and did it straight, it's gonna hit the sides of the machine. So that's why I'm kind of doing it sideways here. But yeah, people were freaking out when I told them, yeah, just put it in sideways. And they're like, no, we're not supposed to do that. Like, it's really not gonna hurt it. It'll be okay. But I know we're always taught that. So see, it'll have, like mine had a little bit of an edge at the bottom there. But you're really not going to notice it too much when you put the card together. All right. So let's see here. So now we're going to take this little piece here. Like I said, we're going to glue that, just a little tiny bit of glue here. So we're going to take just a little line of glue on the bottom. We just want on the straight sides, not on this little angle here, because that's where the pocket is going to form. So if you put glue on all three sides, it's not going to work, because you're going to close the little pocket. And then we're just going to line this up right along that edge of that Night of Navy base. Not the Designer Series paper, but the Night of Navy. I put a little too much glue on there, but that's all right. I'm gonna let that kind of sit and dry. Okay. So now we can let that kind of sit to the side and dry while we do some stamping. Oh, hi, Mom. Thanks for joining. Just making a pocket card that I couldn't find my sample for, so it's going to be a surprise for everyone. All right, now this is the bundle that we're using here today. Okay, actually I don't think it's a bundle anymore, but it was at one point in time. So this Love for You stamp set is going to be half off, 50% off, so it's going to be $10 on sale. And then the Love for You dies are going to be 60% off, for a total of $12.80, I believe, for these dies. So all together you'll get both of these for $22.80 if you don't have them yet. So that's a really good deal during the last chance products, okay? So let me grab some scrap paper here. So we're gonna do a little bit of stamping. I just have a bunch of little scrap pieces. I have this big folder full of white scraps that we can use. All right. So we're going to take our garden green. Actually, before I start, so I'm not tempted to stamp on this, this is the liner for our little pocket piece here that has our greeting. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in now, so I'm not tempted to accidentally stamp and die cut this piece, because that's actually for the inside of our card. So this is where a little message is going to go. Right in there. So that's a little card, and that's going to end up going in here like that. Cute, right? Okay. So put those off to the side. So now we're going to grab our garden green, and we're going to stamp for you. Let's see, I'll use the little thicker piece here. And if it's not quite as dark, or maybe you miss a spot, that's the great thing about these photopolymer stamps. You can see through it, so you can ink it up again and line it up and stamp right over it. Just like that. So I made it a little bit crisper. I probably need to re-ink my stamp set, but that's all right. So let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, now we're gonna do green. We need some leaves, okay? Actually, let's do our congratulations too. Okay. I'm gonna do congratulations. You don't have to do this part, but I liked it, so I'm gonna do congratulations. These are all from that Love for You stamp set. I'll show you here in a second. There we go. All right, so, and we'll cut those down in a second. We'll just put those off to the side. But yeah, so that's, we did the For You, the congratulations, and then all the flowers and the leaves are gonna be right here as well. All right, so we need 2 leaves. Now, you'll notice these stamps, one is like a full stamped image, and then one is like a more detailed outline. So what I do is I feel like the center or the outline is a little bit easier to stamp. So I stamp those first at full strength. I'm gonna do 2 of those. Actually, no, I needed 3 of these. 3 of these. And then for the full image, we're gonna stamp this off and stamp over it. I'm gonna stamp off and then stamp over it. Make it a little bit lighter. Stamp off. And when you do that, it makes it a little bit easier to line everything up if you do the centers of the images first. So there's the leaves. Okay, we're done with the garden green. Now we need some flowers. So I need 3 of these. These are the bigger ones. So there's a smaller size and a bigger size. So the smaller size we're gonna save for later, but right now we're gonna use the bigger size, and we're gonna use fresh freesia. Now, when you line these up, I tried to line them up so that they're about in the same position on my blocks, just to make it easier on myself when I go to stamp. And then you'll notice this flower has this one big petal. So if you kind of try to line those up, it'll make it a little bit easier for you. And also, if you look in the centers, these are like an oval shape. So you can line up the centers and make it a little bit easier as well. So again, we're gonna start with the center, more detailed stamp, and do full strength with the fresh freesia, and we're gonna do 3 of these. My garbage man's coming to get our trash. Oscar's all perked up running around the house. All right, so we have 3 of those at full strength. Now this one we're gonna stamp off before we stamp over the detailed. So we're gonna stamp off, use that big petal to line up here. You guys, make sure you guys can see that there. And just like that, so you kind of line it up and then press down once you have it positioned how you want it. We're gonna press off or stamp off, line that up, use that center and those big petals, kind of get real close. And then once you have it where you want it, you can push down. And we'll do a third one. Now, something to note is when you stamp off, if you don't stamp off all the way, like say maybe when you do it, you get like part of it. And I would recommend re-inking and stamping off again before going off of there, because what's going to happen is if you stamp off and you don't stamp all of the ink in a even fashion and you have like little spots, that's going to transfer onto your flowers and you're not going to be happy with the results. So I highly recommend just re-inking and stamping off and trying again. It'll be a lot better. All right, let's get one more scrap piece here for some flowers. I think I can squeeze another one on here too. All right, so now we're gonna do Calypso Coral for the smaller flower here. And again, I lined these up so they're about where they need to be on my blocks, and then the centers are an oval shape, so it makes it easier to kind of tell where to stamp. And then these flowers, they're not perfect, so you can kind of see, okay, there's one like pointing straight up, and then the same with the design with the more detailed one. There's one that's kind of sticking straight up, and then that's how you can kind of tell, okay, that's where they need to be on the block so that they stamp where they need to go. Okay, so Calypso Coral, we're gonna do full strength. And then I'm gonna do one on this piece here. And then again, for the solid one, we're gonna stamp off and then stamp over it. Okay, just makes it look really nice. All right, and then we're gonna do this last one, and then we can die cut everything and put it together, and you'll see how pretty it is. All right. So that's all of our stamping. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can get our die cutting going. And I'm gonna try to do this in as few turns through the die cutting machine as I can. All right, so we've got die cutting plates here, and then we're gonna do the For You. I'm gonna grab my dies. So for this one, we're gonna use the smaller For You, and that'll fit perfectly right here, right over that one. Some more of this tape here. Let's see. Get that all lined up. Just like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna do one of the flowers. And there's, on the dies, there's a smaller flower and a larger flower. We need both of those, and then the little die for the leaf grouping. So that little leaf right there. So this one, this is where it gets tricky trying to figure this out. And again, look at the spacing. So there's a big gap in between those leaves or those petals. So that's how you can kind of tell where that's supposed to be. And we'll just use our tape for that. And then I have a small one. Can do as well. Oops. So what is on everybody's wish list? That's what I want to know. What is everybody excited to get from the Last Chance products. I know everybody's been waiting for this sale. Super excited. I asked my team members, a lot of them said, oh, I'm waiting for dies, or what was another thing? Some stamp sets that maybe were on their wish list that they didn't get before. So what is on your wish list? I'm always curious what people are looking for. In color stuff is always good. If you can grab that before it goes. That stuff always goes fast, it seems like. Let's see here. There we go. This will be here. Oh. I try to do this in as few turns as possible. Make it a little bit quicker. Poor girls that came to my class, they were die cutting for days, I'm sure is what it felt like. Because they have to share the dies and then die cut all the pieces. I'm sure they were like, oh my gosh, are we done with this yet? But luckily I had like 3 embossing machines, so that kind of helped too. But it's a wow card, but there are a few steps to it. But I feel like the cards that are wow cards, you really got to put the work into those to make them wow cards. So that's what makes them so exciting and so pretty. All right, so here's round 2. We should only have 1 more to go. Okay. Got most of our flowers here. There we go. 1 more purple flower to go. The Give It a Whirl dies. Oh, yep, those I think are going to be 50% off as well. I'm debating whether or not to sell mine after they retire or to keep them because I really like them. That was one of the sets that when they came out, I was like, oh my gosh, those are so cool. It was like something we had never seen before. There were so many pieces. If you like making interactive cards, those are really good for interactive cards as well. So I know I really liked that. I was excited about those. All right, so this should be the final one. Final go round through the embossing machine here. It's only 3 turns through the embossing machine. If you can line everything up at once, makes it a little bit quicker. All right, I'll put this to the side. Whew. A lot of die cutting, but like I said, it's worth it. This is a nice card for sure. Let's get this. Take the tape off of my dies here. I don't know what you guys use, but I have this Spellbinders magnet that I got off of Amazon, and it holds my dies perfectly. I think you can get it at scrapbook.com too. I just thought this was so neat. I use this for my classes all the time, and it helps me, especially with these little die cuts, and it helps me know where they are and not lose them. Because I almost always put them down and then get a bunch of stuff out for crafting, as we all do, and then I'm frantically searching for my dies. So that has helped me a ton, keeping my dies straight and knowing where they are. So if you have that problem like I do, you might want to look at one of those. All right. So all of our pieces here. All right, I'm gonna go get my silicone craft mat. It's gonna help us out here. Okay, so if you have never used one of these are really cool. This is a silicone craft sheet. This is recommended if you're gonna glue something so that you don't get glue all over your work surface and make a sticky mess. So what it does is, like, say you glue something and glue comes out over the edge, it will land on this silicone craft sheet, and then once it dries, you can see I kind of have some glue here. You can just peel it right off of this mat. All you do is just take your finger and kind of rub it, and you can get that dried glue and it'll come right off. So that's a pretty cool trick. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend getting one of these. There's lots of other uses you can use for them too. But I love this whenever I have something small that I need to glue together. Okay. So with our little pocket card here, what I like to do is I like to take my little pocket and kind of stick it in here so I have an idea where everything's going to be. And then I'm going to take this For You, and it's going to end up going up here. I just like to kind of position everything and get a good idea where I want it to be. And then this Congratulations, we're going to cut this down with our snips. Let me look at those. I'm telling you, I got nothing over here today, it feels like. So I'm just going to use my snips and kind of go along the edge here and cut this piece down. And then I'm going to go at an angle both sides. And then I might even take a little bit off the top so it's more even. Just like that. And kind of clean it up how you need to. All right, there we go. So then we're going to take some dimensionals here. So for this one, because it's so narrow, I have some mini Stampin' Dimensionals that I'm going to use on the back here. Which I don't use these a bunch. Some people I've talked to use them constantly. They love these things, but I use the regular size ones more than I use the mini ones. I don't use the mini ones too often. I talked to somebody and they were like, oh man, I use the mini ones all the time. They're perfect. They're perfect size for stuff. All right. And then these, we'll use the mini ones as well. Let me get my Take Your Pick tool actually. So if you use your Take Your Pick tool and use like the little pointy edge, you can grab these a little easier. At least I can. So I'm going to use a few of those. You're probably thinking, well, when are we going to use that silicone craft sheet? We will in just a second, I promise you. I just got sidetracked here. I realized I wanted to do this first. I think that's enough. All right. So now we can take our backings off. I put the 4 and the U right up towards the top. And then this, again, is totally optional. You don't have to do the congratulations. You could leave it off and just use it for whatever, but congratulations would be good for like anniversary or graduation. Graduation season's coming up. I know Ethan this morning was asking me, do I have any more breaks before the end of the year? He's so anxious to be done with school. He just got off spring break and he's already ready to go back to like summer break now. And he has one more like teacher work day before the end of the year and then he's done. So he's like super ready to be done. Okay. So now for this, I'm just going to kind of lay these down and figure out exactly how I want them to look. And then we're going to put our flower or our leaves kind of underneath and kind of figure out where we want those to go. We don't want it to come off of this edge. So that's why I kind of like to lay everything down first and figure out where I want to glue everything. And then we'll go from there. So put another leaf, maybe like right there. Okay, so I think that's good. So we're going to take some liquid glue here. And again, our little silicone craft sheet is perfect because we can adhere this, and then if it gets out on the back here, it'll go right on that craft mat like that because it is coming off of there. That's all right though. That's exactly what this is for. I put a little too much glue on that one. Put it like right there. And I think this one, I wanted to go like that. All right, just like that. We're gonna give those a second. So you can pop these up or put them down. I'm gonna put them just flat on some glue, and I'm gonna try not to glue it too close to the edge, and just kind of evenly space them, okay? And then we'll lay these flowers down, just like that. And this one's gonna go kind of a different angle here, and you can kind of play with that. That's the great thing about glue, is you can kind of mess with it before you get it in place there. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these little Calypso coral ones, and we're gonna kind of use them to fill in the gaps in between these two, or in between these three flowers, just like that. And I'm gonna use a little mini dimensional to pop these up. So I'm just gonna take a little mini dimensional on the edge there, take the backing off, and then pop that flower up. I'm gonna do the same thing right here. How pretty is that? Now, we're not done. We gotta put some bling on there always. So you can use these blooming pearls, I think is what I used in the example that's on my blog post. Or another option we had in class was these pastel adhesive back sequins. These are retiring as well. I think they're gonna be 40% off, I wanna say. I can't remember for sure. I like the gold with this color scheme, so you could use whatever you want, but I'm gonna get some gold ones here. I'm gonna use my little spatula end. If you've never used this take your pick tool, so basically it's got these little grooves on the inside here. Let's see if you can see those. And then they've got grooves on the little piece that goes on the inside. So you match those up, slide it in, and twist it to lock. And you can even see on here, it's got lock and unlock. So if you twist it up, you're locking it. If you twist it down, you're unlocking it and pulling it out, or you twist it up to lock it in place. So this is pretty cool. I use this all the time, honestly. So we're gonna put one maybe like right here, and then another one maybe here, and a bigger sequin down here. Oh, actually, I think I put this one up here somewhere. There, like that. Cute. All right, what do you think? So this is so fun. I really enjoyed this one. And then when they take it out, they have a little pocket. It's a perfect size to put a little gift card in here for something. I just thought this was really fun, something really fun and different. And I love all the little flowers on my little pocket there. So again, this is using those Love for You dies and stamps that are going to be on sale, starting with the discounted Last Chance products, as well as that Eclectic Designer Series paper is going to be on sale, and those pastel adhesive back sequins will be on sale as well. All right, guys, well, what do you think? If you love this project, please give me a little thumbs up or heart and let me know in the comments. If you're watching the replay on my blog, please leave a comment and let me know what you think of this project. I love hearing from you guys. Again, if you are one of my newsletter subscribers, be sure to check your email. I sent an email out a little while ago with important information regarding the Last Chance product sale that starts tomorrow. And if you have any questions or need help placing an order, you can always reach out to me anytime, okay? Remember, tomorrow after 6 a.m. Eastern time, I'll be available to help you place an order, okay? All right, well, have a great week. And again, if you're expecting a catalog from me, check your email this week. I will be mailing catalogs out in the middle of the week this week, okay? I should have them tomorrow, and then I'll be sending them out probably Wednesday or Thursday, okay? All right, guys. Well, have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday. Until then, be safe and happy stamping. Bye bye.